Okay, in a previous video, guys, we showed you how to bump your shoulders and seat your sizing die. Now we're going to show you how to set your seating die, but the first thing we need to do is figure out how long we need to seat them out, seat your bullets out, okay? And we'll do that by finding the overall length, or finding where the bullet comes into contact with your lands. For you guys that are shooting gas guns or semi-autos, usually there's a ton of free bore in there. You end up seating them out as long as the magazine will allow. For you guys that are working with bolt guns, that's not normally the case, especially custom guns. They've normally been throated so that you can seat to an optimal seating depth. The first thing you can use, guys, that I would recommend, especially if you're new to reloading, is the Hornady overall length gauge. It's not anything new, but it's a very simple tool to use. You insert it into the chamber, you push forward onto the plunger, the bullet will push into the lands until they stop. You simply lock it down, pull it out, and measure. And we're not going to measure the O.A.L, we're going to measure the O.A.L, okay? We're going to measure from the base to the O-give. This measurement here is why we set our dies up the way we do. And the reason we're going to measure this way, and not to the tip like the book tells you, is because each tip can be longer or shorter than the next. You end up with inconsistent seating depths. If you measure from base to ogive, that's the measurement that counts. If you don't have one of these, there's the Sharpie method, which I personally can't stand, or there's what I call the bolt drop test. I did not invent this. I actually picked it up off of a YouTube video, but it's very handy, so I figured I'd pass it on to you. It's just like what it sounds like, guys. It's a bolt drop test. To do it, you need to remove your firing pin and your ejector, because what this does is you're feeling it, and you're going to seat that bullet in until you can drop that bolt under its own weight. It basically giving you the exact point of where the O-give of your bullet stops coming into contact with your lands. So to do that, we seated a bullet. I'm pretty close, but I'm having to push just a little bit on that bolt handle to get it to fall. I recommend taking small increments of about 3 to 5 thousandths once you get to this point. If you go any more than that, guys, you're going to go past, and then you're going to have to pull that bullet out or start over again. So this is where patience pays off. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to bump this about 3 thousandths. And I'm using my micrometer to do that. If you don't have a micrometer, guys, it's just going to be trial and error, making very, very small adjustments. So going back down here, I'm still having to push a little bit, not a big deal. This is where we're going to be patient. We're going to bring it back another 2 thousandths. Okay, it's getting pretty close here, guys. I can feel it, but that bullet is still up in those lands. This is about where the Hornady overall length gauge will get you by pushing that bullet up into the lands. This is giving you more of a zero tolerance thing. So I'm going to bring it in 2 thousandths more. And it might seem a little repetitive, but we're pretty much right there. This is the number. I'm gonna bring it down 2 more thousandths just to check it, but as you guys can see, that bolt's pretty much falling under its own weight. I'm gonna go 2 more thousandths here, and we're gonna get it exact. Now that first little bit is the M16 extractor crawling over the rim of the cartridge. Once we get past the camming, boy, it's awfully close. We'll go ahead and go 2 more. And this is where you really want to be patient, guys, because if I was to bump this, let's say 10 thousandths, I would have gone too far and lost my measurement. This is not the easiest method, but it's a very accurate method. Okay, we're pretty much there right now. That's what I would probably mark as zero tolerance, or my starting seating depth. So what I'm going to do at this point now is I'm going to use my Sinclair gauge. I like these gauges better than the Hornadys. It's just my personal preference. These holes are actually cut with reamers, okay, just like your chamber is. I personally believe that these actually hit the bullet's O-give closer to where your barrel's actually hitting it. However, guys, the gauges will all get you to the same place, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take my measurement here. I have 2.665. So if I wanted to start off, for example, 5 thousandths off the lands. Now it gets pretty easy, right? What I would recommend is taking this bullet, marking it as a dummy, and putting it on the shelf. From this point, I would actually take a new piece of brass. I'm going to take my die and bring it down 5 thousandths. That's where I like to start most of my load my load testing. Now, if we did everything right, when we measure this one here, now we're at 2.661. Okay, but you guys see how it works. If you guys have any questions, send me an email, call the shop. It does take me a little bit to get back to them, but I will answer them for you. Thanks for watching, guys.